So what we're doing right now is we are in midwinter and we're crazy because we're going to be making ice cream by foraging in our freezer. That's the deal right now. So the first step is, if you can, get your heat up so you are nice and sweaty like I am. Put on some sort of a festive, summery shawl or something to brighten up, because right now if you look outside where we are, it's white and beautiful and snowy, but I feel the impulse to forage in the freezer and bring on some ice cream. Got it? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make Pawpaw ice cream, yep. And that brings us to October 25th and October 15th. If you haven't seen the skinning of Pawpaw video, please do. So these are what was produced then, and then, so we've got 2 cups of fruit. By the way, before I go further, I just want to share that this recipe is in my book, Foraging and Feasting. It is the ice cream master recipe, and we are adapting it for today's recipe. We're going to use the intense fruit variation, which means 2 cups of fruit of choice. And if you're in your freezer and you've got raspberries or red or black raspberries or blackberries, bring those beauties on. Get some fruit ice cream happening. But so, okay, back to today. We have Pawpaw, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use coconut milk. And this is, the amount will be 1 cup of coconut milk to 2 cups of fruit puree of choice. Today it's Pawpaw. And then I am lucky to have 2 duck eggs from my friend's flock of ducks. I think that's, or a gaggle of ducks, or whatever you call it. And so we've got these beautiful eggs, and I know some of you aren't pleased with that, but this adds a creaminess to your ice cream. And if you can, get some good, raw, real, beautiful eggs from someone you know, and that the poultry is out living a full life. So that, by the way, the yolks make the ice cream emulsify better and makes it creamy. If you want to be animal-free, pull the egg out. You can still do it. Today I'm going to use the whole eggs. Typically one uses yolks only, but I'm going to honor the whole egg. You can do otherwise. And then you would sweeten it to taste, and we're going to use some raw honey. The Pawpaw, in my opinion, is very, very sweet already, and so I may add maybe a tablespoon or 2 of raw honey. If you have a sweeter tooth, you can increase that amount of sweetener. If you happen to have red raspberries or black raspberries and they're not very sweet, well, you could go all the way up to a 1/2 cup of honey, which is super sweet. Anyway, play with that sweetness. For us, we're gonna go real low on the sweet because the Pawpaw is very sweet. We'll also add a pinch of salt, and then we will add some vanilla extract. You could, if you have Pawpaw, you could play with rum with this particular recipe. I don't have any rum right now. I'm not much of a drinker. Okay, so let's do it. Let's make it step by step. You will need an ice cream maker, and these are the parts that are going to fit into the canister that is in the freezer out there with the rest of the foraged fruit. So we'll get that in a moment, but right now let's go on to making what's called the ice cream custard. But this is uncooked. This is an uncooked version of ice cream, and it's a beautiful thing. And let's do it. So to start, you will put in your eggs. So you crack your 2 eggs in here. And oh my God, wait a minute, just look at that yolk. Can you see that beauty? That is amazing nutrient density and sunshine. Thank you very much, duck. And thank you, Nelly, for your eggs. Okay, and here we go with the next one. So we add 2. Again, you can separate the yolks and use the yolks only. And now let us add to the eggs our sweetener of choice. Today we're using the honey, and we want to use probably just a tablespoon. Put that in, and let's whiz this. So we'll whiz this for about 30 seconds. Let that happen. Actually, I like to put my pinch of salt in at this point as well. So we'll put that pinch of salt in. Other things to consider is sweeteners. Let's say you have maple syrup. That's another beautiful option. Of course, you can always use sugar. I'm not a white sugar fan, but I prefer honey or maple syrup. So after that has fluffed up in a way that it has, it's looking pretty nice, we will add, I can turn it so you can see better, Let's actually scrape down the sides quickly. So we just incorporate the yolks a little bit better. There we go. Turn it back on. And that's looking pretty right on. Nice and fluffy. Now we add our fruit and we add our coconut milk or your choice of dairy. And let's plop those in. Now these, this is basically mashed pawpaw. I've skinned it, seeded it, and I've pushed it into the bucket and frozen it. And it will go in just as so. And it's still somewhat frozen. So in a moment, I'll explain why that's helpful. But I'll break it up as well, just to get it in there. And let's get the other one. So we have our 2 full cups of pawpaw entering the ice cream reality here. Oh my God. That does smell like summer, like beautiful tropical. Because don't forget, pawpaw is related to guanabana, cherimoya, custard apple, the Ananonaceae family. And that smell is really beautiful and wafting up this crazy, beautiful tropical odor. Oh, sorry. And now we do want to, at the same time as you add your fruit, you want to add your coconut milk. And we're going to be adding 1 cup's worth of this can, which is squirty, but here we go. And if you have some beautiful raw heavy cream and that's happening, use that. Okay. And now we whiz this, give it about a minute or so. At this point, you can also add vanilla, rum, as I said, and other things like that. So let's do that. It's about a tablespoon typically that you would add. And this is homemade vanilla. And if you want to know how to make your own vanilla, well, shall I share about my book one more time? It's in here, the beautiful vanilla master recipe, making your own vanilla extract. So it's in there. Okay, so that is pureeing. And as soon as it's looking smooth and the fruit has been well incorporated, we're ready to pop this off. I'm going to stop it and just feel around to see if I feel any chunks. By the way, a little bit of fruit chunkiness is nice. You know what I'm saying? So that can be quite nice. I'm going to leave it just as is. I think it's perfect. Now we need to go. Actually, let me just share one other thing. So at this point, you would taste it as well, just to make sure it's to your liking in terms of sweetness. For me, that is perfect. You might want a little bit more honey in there than I've chosen to put in, but I like it like that. And now what happens is this goes into the ice cream maker. So we got to go grab it. By the way, because I used the frozen pawpaw, we have this custard that it's called, this ice cream custard is cold and ready to go into that canister. If the pawpaw was fresh and at room temperature, we would need to refrigerate this to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So you'd stick it in the fridge until it chilled, and then you would add it to your ice cream maker. Once it's chilled, you follow the instructions of your ice cream maker. There are some superstar ice cream makers that don't ask you to chill the custard, but most of them do. So look at the instructions on your particular ice cream maker. Okay, let's go to the freezer and grab the canister. We have unearthed the ice cream maker from the big freezer. It was sitting in 0 degree Fahrenheit freezer. We are gonna put this into its container, into this casing. We're gonna put the ice cream in there and we're gonna make some pawpaw ice cream. Okay, ice cream maker is ready to receive the ice cream custard. Let's pour it in. Here we go. Now what I'm using here is a Danvier, and these canisters have to be chilled in freezers that go down to 0, or else they don't work. So you'll often find these at garage sales. These are, people don't read the instructions and they think they don't work. So it's important to make sure you freeze this canister, but you'll also probably find some in garage sales or thrift stores. So get all of your ice cream, you keep going, you get the idea, you put it in. We're making a quart of ice cream, by the way, and now we put the lid on the Denvier. Okay, and we make it sink in like that, and that's happening. And really, this is a very strange ice cream maker because you don't need to heavily twirl it. The instructions are that you go super, super slowly for about 20 or 30 seconds every 2 or 3 minutes. And what you're doing is just pulling the ice cream custard away from the frozen cylinder so that you're rotating the coldness throughout the ice cream. And so this takes about 20 minutes. Now what I often do is you don't even have to rotate. You can just wait and it will still produce ice cream, which sounds kind of crazy. Often if I'm in a rush and I'm going to a potluck, I'll stick this ice cream maker into a cooler and just let it do its thing. And when then I arrive, the ice cream has solidified, it has chilled. So let's give it 20 minutes. Give it the last little spin and you can see that it is ready. I like it this way, more soft servy. You can keep, letting it sit and it will harden more, but I am ready to serve this. So let's pop off the lid, scoop it into our bowls. And this will make your friends and family very, very happy. I am excited to have this Pawpaw. Let's have a little taste of this Pawpaw coconut ice cream. Beautiful stuff there. So now you know how to make fruit ice cream. You have a master recipe under your belt, right? And may it enrich your life. If you've enjoyed this and you would like more, check out my online course, Wild Food Health Boosters and Herbal Remedies at wildfoodhealthboosters.com. See you next time.